Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Brandon Rosa. Welcome to episode 260 of the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. Every Monday, this podcast covers new game releases, the previous week's gaming news, and we all learn an Xbox-related fun fact together. This show is on YouTube and podcast services around the world, so please subscribe on your favorite and leave a review. XboxIn10.com, no numbers, is your quick source for links to all of our podcast destinations and social media profiles, which you can follow at XboxIn10. To start, let's talk game releases. The big game out last week was Braid Anniversary Edition, and the games coming out this week include Neptunia Sisters vs. Sisters, Paper Trail, System Shock, X-Defiant, Senua Saga Hellblade 2, Doug's Nightmare, Survive on Raft, Ultra Food Mess 2, Cat Pipes, Eternal Threads, Crown Wars The Black Prince, Galacticare, Haunty, Wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, Rocket Rumble, Hand in Hand, Paper Dash City Hustle, TP Bullet, and The Glass Staircase. A plethora of new games are either coming soon or available now on Game Pass, and they include the following. You can now play Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons on Cloud Console and PC, Chance of Sonar, Cloud Console and PC, EA Sports NHL 24 on Cloud, Immortals of Aveum, Cloud PC and Series X and S. On May 21st, the big one, Senua Saga Hellblade 2 on Cloud, PC, and Series X and S. On May 23rd, Galacticare, Cloud PC and Series X and S, as well as Haunty, Cloud Console and PC. On May 28th, Moving Out 2, Cloud Console and PC. On May 30th, you can play Humanity on Cloud Console and PC, and Lords of the Fallen on Cloud PC and Series X and S. And then on June 4th, you can play Firework on PC, and Rolling Hills on Cloud Console and PC. Now on to last week's biggest news stories, and we have a lot, so 7 to go over. Number 1. Microsoft add next Call of Duty to Xbox Game Pass, Wall Street Journal reports. Tom Warren at The Verge writes, Microsoft has reportedly decided to add the next installment of Call of Duty to Xbox Game Pass. The Wall Street Journal reports that Microsoft will announce that Call of Duty is coming to its game subscription service during the company's Xbox showcase on June 9th. I reported earlier this month that Microsoft had been debating whether to put new releases of Call of Duty into Game Pass, with concerns from some of the company that the revenue generated from typical Call of Duty sales would be undermined by Game Pass. Activision traditionally sells copies of Call of Duty for around $70 or more, selling more than 20 million copies on average. The brief Wall Street Journal report doesn't make it clear whether Microsoft plans to charge extra for Call of Duty inside Game Pass, nor whether the company will raise its Game Pass Ultimate subscription fee. I understand Microsoft has been considering raising the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate pricing again. Activision is currently targeting a late October release of the next Call of Duty, which is rumored to be set during the 90s Gulf War. Microsoft will hold its big Xbox showcase on June 9th with a special Call of Duty Direct after the main show ends. I understand Microsoft is currently planning to announce a new Gears of War game during the show. The showcase will include a number of release dates for upcoming Xbox games, like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Avowed, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. June 9th, let's go for the showcase, and yes, I do hope this is true. This will cement Microsoft and Xbox's commitment to Game Pass. If they don't put Call of Duty on there, then they aren't believing in Game Pass. I mean, there's really no other way about it, but they're going to leave so many sales on the cutting room floor. After reading so much commentary on Twitter, I'm sorry to not give credit to whomever posted it, but I did like the theory of put Call of Duty on PC and only next-gen consoles. Don't put it on the old-gen consoles. And then that's your marketing point. Come over to Xbox, buy a console, or sign up for PC Game Pass and get Call of Duty for free, quote-unquote. I do thoroughly expect Xbox and Microsoft to raise the cost of Game Pass this year ahead of this. And I also wouldn't be surprised if there is a lower tier that doesn't include day-and-date releases. Maybe a $29.99 one that includes all of Activision, Bethesda, and Xbox Game Studios games day and date. At that point, with all these games, it still might be the best value in entertainment, but I think we'll see, and I think there's going to be a lot of changes to Game Pass and everything this year. Number 2, College Football 25 finally has a release date. Taylor Lyles at IGN writes, college football fans who miss college football video games can finally cheer after EA officially revealed the cover athletes for College Football 25 and confirmed a release date on PS5 and Series X and S on Friday, July 19th, 2025, or July 16th for those who buy the deluxe edition. As previously confirmed by leaks, College Football 25 Standard Edition cover features Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers, Colorado wide receiver Travis Hunter, and Michigan running back Donovan Edwards. The Deluxe Edition cover features the same three athletes at the center and players from different schools in the background, such as Georgia quarterback Carson Beck, Ohio State running back Quinshawn Judkins, and Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. In February, EA dropped an official teaser trailer showcasing development concepts, such as players from the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team tapping the "Play Like a Champion Today" sign before heading into the tunnel. Following the teaser announcement in early February, EA Sports revealed to ESPN some new details for College Football 25. This includes confirmation that all 134 FBS football programs will be included, how much players who opt in will be paid for using their likeness in the game, while those who do not opt in will not be allowed to create themselves as a playable character, as well as reaffirming that Dynasty and Road to Glory game modes will return. First off, credit to all the college football players for finally getting their likeness in games and being paid as much. It's not a lot, but how cool would that be to see yourself in a video game and or on the cover? And this game is going to be huge. I can't believe it took them this long to bring this game back, but they brought it back in the right way. Hopefully they actually deliver, and EA is about to make millions. Speaking of millions, or should I say billions, number 3. Grand Theft Auto 6 is launching in fall 2025. Ash Parrish at The Verge writes, in Take-Two's Q4 2024 earnings report, the company stated when gamers can expect the next entry in the GTA series. What was previously a nebulous calendar year 2025 for Grand Theft Auto 6 is now a more specific, but still a bit vague, quote, fall 2025, end quote. As we enter fiscal 2025 with a positive momentum, we expect to deliver net bookings of $5.55 to $5.65 billion. Our outlook reflects a narrowing of Rockstar Games' previously established window of calendar 2025 to fall of calendar 2025 for Grand Theft Auto 6. We are highly confident that Rockstar Games will deliver an unparalleled entertainment experience, and our expectations for the commercial impact of the title continue to increase. In other GTA-related news, the company reported that GTA 5 has sold 200 million copies, a staggering feat, making the game the second best-selling title of all time, but still 100 million copies short of the number one entry, Minecraft. Obviously, I had to put this one in the books. This is going to then be number 2 or number 3 biggest entertainment property selling game of all time, whatever you want to call it, whatever feat you want to give this game. It's going to be huge. And the biggest thing for the Xbox fans is PlayStation going to have, which they seemingly will, a PlayStation Pro out ahead of this time. How will this game perform on the PlayStation 5 Pro compared to the Series X? That's going to be a really touchy subject next year. Number 4, Redfall to get offline mode in final Xbox update. Sean Carey at True Achievements writes, it looks like it's good news for the Redfall achievements after all. Arcane Austin has confirmed the final update for the Xbox first-person shooter, which will add an offline mode to Redfall and other improvements. Earlier this month, Microsoft announced it was closing multiple Bethesda studios, including Redfall developer Arcane Austin. In a letter to employees, Xbox Game Studio head Matt Booty said that, quote, Redfall's previous update will be its last, end quote, as all development on the game had ended. It was rumored that Arcane Austin was working on a final update before the shock announcement, which would have added an offline mode to the first-person shooter, potentially future-proofing its achievements. Well, as it turns out, Redfall's previous update was not its last, as the developer has now confirmed on Twitter that a final update, which will add an offline mode, is coming soon. I wanted to put this one in here too to get it on the books. Redfall is no more. Arcane Austin is no more. At some point, I will finally give this game a chance, but what? Just a completely unmitigated disaster. I don't even know how this came out into the condition that it did. Lessons learned, Xbox. Number 5, new Activision studio established to develop a brand new franchise. Tom Ivan at Video Games Chronicle writes, Activision has established a new internal development studio called Elsewhere Entertainment. Headquartered in Warsaw, Poland, it's been formed to create a brand new franchise for the Xbox-owned publisher best known for Call of Duty. Elsewhere's team consists of storytelling experts who previously plied their trade at Naughty Dog, CD Projekt Red, Bungie, and Ubisoft. In a blog post, Activision said, Elsewhere is, quote, exclusively focused on creating a new narrative-based and genre-defining AAA franchise. The team's underlying mission encourages everyone to explore and collaborate creatively to craft a franchise with an enduring legacy that resonates far beyond games, end quote, it added. Quote, Elsewhere is opening its search for best-in-class talent from across the industry and around the world to help create a state-of-the-art, next-generation gaming experience, end quote. Well, this was clearly in the works for a while, just the timing is clearly not great, as Microsoft just shuttered a number of studios. However, that does fall under the Bethesda banner. This falls under the Activision banner. So, unfortunately, this is really positive news if we look at it just as that. A new AAA studio to develop a narrative-based game. Activision, at this point, is really only known for Call of Duty, so it's so cool to see them branching out into more. Number 6, free-to-play shooter The Division Heartland canceled by Ubisoft. Tom West at True Achievements writes, as Ubisoft looks to focus on its other shooter franchises like Rainbow Six and XDefiant, the company has announced that free-to-play Xbox game The Division Heartland has been canceled. While it appeared that The Division Heartland would launch on Xbox this year, after it was rated in Taiwan in November, Ubisoft has now pulled the plug on the project. As revealed in Ubisoft's recent financial reports, the company has, quote, decided to stop development on The Division Heartland and has redeployed resources to bigger opportunities such as XDefiant and Rainbow Six, end quote. Heartland was a spin-off PvPvE free-to-play shooter set within the Division universe, which would have put you in the shoes of a Division agent attempting to keep a small town safe after the Green Poison was released. The game would have seen you battling it out on the streets of Silver Creek against AI factions, and players completing missions and gathering supplies for your base. It has looked like it had potential, so it's a shame to see this one shelved. Fortunately, though, the team at Red Star Entertainment is being redeployed on some of Ubisoft's other shooters instead of facing all too common layoffs. If you haven't seen it yet, Ubisoft's other free-to-play shooter XDefiant launches on Series X and S and other platforms on May 21st. It'll kick off with a 6-week preseason initially before Season 1 brings in a 90-tier battle pass, 3 new maps, and 3 new weapons. As for The Division, there's still plenty to look forward to from the universe with the spin-off mobile game, The Division Resurgence, still on track to release later this year. Last year, Ubisoft also quietly confirmed that The Division 3 is still in development, so while we're likely some time away, another mainline entry is in the works. This one is a real shame. It seems like there was a number of testers who said this game was pretty good, but ultimately not going to be released in favor of a game literally titled XDefiant. Now, I haven't tried it, but that might be top 5 worst names of a video game ever. Division 3 is still in development. I don't know. I guess we'll see. My heart isn't sold on it. The Division 1 was one of the most disappointing games I ever played, and that seems really harsh, but the story and how it looked and the graphics in open world New York during Christmas time, I remember being so excited, and I just couldn't get behind the gameplay in it. Not that it was bad, but I guess it just wasn't for me. The enemies were just too bullet spongy, so this wasn't really on my radar, but it's sad for anyone who's a big Division fan to see this, as they would have gotten their hands on it this year. But reasons unknown, and I'm sure we'll find out in the future, Ubisoft has pulled the plug. And number 7, Microsoft reveals new Proteus accessibility controller for Xbox. Jordan Midler at Video Games Chronicle writes, Microsoft has announced the Xbox Proteus controller, a new customizable controller aimed at gamers with accessibility issues. The controller will begin shipping this autumn and will cost $299. Players who purchase the controller during the pre-order window will receive 15% off the RRP. The controller is made of several balls that snap together to form whichever shape is most comfortable for the user, according to manufacturer BioWave. The controller will work with Xbox Series consoles as well as Xbox One and PC at launch. I wanted to highlight this as I love all the work that Microsoft continues to do with accessibility to make sure that any person in this world that wants to try and play games has the opportunity to at least try and do so. It's such a wacky looking controller, so it's really cool to see what they're doing with this and how maybe people without accessibility issues might also try to leverage this controller for maybe a competitive advantage. As always, we end our show with a fun fact about Xbox, and since we're talking about Call of Duty this week, did you know it was originally codenamed MOH Killer? What is MOH? Well, credit to Screen Rant. Before Call of Duty rose to dominance, the name that dominated the first-person shooter genre was EA's Medal of Honor series, MOH. Back in the early 2000s, Infinity Ward was tasked with challenging this dominance with the development of an all-new FPS game, which they codenamed the MOH Killer. Despite the confidence of the name they'd assigned the game, it took a while for the game to begin matching the popularity of its established opponent. Medal of Honor hasn't quite reached the same heights, however, with some of its newer video games receiving terrible reviews despite still being a popular name. How about that? They straight up went for it, and guess what? They won. Medal of Honor is a thing of the past, and we haven't seen a new entry in many, many years. But shout out to Medal of Honor Rising Sun on the original Xbox. That game, chef's kiss. Thank you all for listening to the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. If you like this show, please subscribe on your favorite podcast service, share with your friends, leave a review, and follow on all social media at XboxIn10. This past week, I've been continuing my playthrough, or replaythrough, of Wolfenstein: A New Order, and I love this game. I remember really enjoying it, but I still think it holds up. I love the story elements. I love the narrative that they're telling, which I won't spoil, but if you like World War II and alternate history, then this game is so up your alley. I cannot wait to finish it, and I am playing this as part of a Machine Games replay through ahead of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, hopefully later this year. My name is Brandon Rose. You can follow me on Xbox at Broza93. Hope you all have a great week. Stay safe and keep on gaming.